Hey guys, Lamfinity here again today with episode 5 of Trading to Germany. As always, if you missed any of the earlier episodes of this series or of the series Alphabetic Hybrids, I'll leave the link to the whole playlist down in the description below. And please don't forget to ask me more questions as well down in the comment section if you got some. So I'll just continue with the questions as usual. So the next one is going to be: how do you think will this phase of German football, that means the duel between Bayern and Dortmund, last? Who will come out on top in the long run? I think in the next season, so this season starting next Saturday or Friday, it's actually going to be pretty close. During the last two seasons, you could kind of see that Dortmund was pretty far ahead of Bayern. I mean, Bayern went way further in the Champions League, but otherwise in the Bundesliga, Dortmund was pretty dominant overall, and especially in the games where they directly faced each other, Dortmund was too good for Bayern, to say the least. And it isn't of course easy to say as a Bayern Munich fan, but I have got to be honest there. But I think in the next season it's going to be a lot different. Bayern has had some new great signings, and I think we are now ready to compete with Dortmund. And of course I hope as well that Dortmund will do better in the Champions League, because then this will of course benefit the German football in general. In the long run, I think Bayern will still be the better team, simply because they are financially more stable and just basically more experienced overall in international as well as national football in general. So next question is thoughts on Mexico national squad and the Mexico Olympic squad. As you probably all know, Mexico won the Olympics in football against Brazil, the final, which was actually kind of astonishing. I watched the whole game. This was one of the few games I watched of the Olympic football games, and I was pretty disappointed by Brazil's performance, to be quite honest. They didn't seem like a team to me. They seemed like they have all these kind of overhyped, at least in my opinion, single players in there who can play as a team very well, like Neymar, Oscar, and others such as them. Mexico surprised me quite a lot because they worked really well together as a team. They were really solid defensively, and they were actually the better team against Brazil there, and of course they deserved the win then. And otherwise, I'm not too sure about the Mexico national squad in general. Haven't watched one of their games during the last couple of years, so I'm not exactly sure how big the difference between the Olympic squad and the national squad actually is. So I have to wait until the next World Cup to see them again playing. The next question is: what do you think about the transfers of young Brazilians such as Oscar and maybe Lucas? I think I said that in the last episode that I thought Ganso was too overhyped, and now a couple of seconds ago I once again said that Neymar is too overhyped. I mean, Oscar and Lucas may be great players. Actually, I haven't seen them play too much myself, so maybe they are good players. I don't know about that, but they are very young. They played in the Brazilian league, which, sorry to all Brazilians of you, but you probably all know that it isn't the most competitive league, and definitely not the best league there is. Actually, the overall standard isn't too high, especially concerning the defense. So the Brazilian attackers in the Brazilian league have actually a rather easy job in their league. Of course, it's nice for these players to move to the Barclays Premier League or any other high-priced league that exists there, because basically in Brazil a lot of people are poor, and kind of I think a lot of children's dream is actually to play football, become a star, and then earn tons of money, and to get out of the misery, kind of like that. I think that's very common in Brazil, and of course they have great players, especially concerning technique. So I'm not sure what to think about that. I think maybe it's a bit too early for them to move to the Barclays Premier League. Oscar has now moved to Chelsea for a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know. We just have to see how he performs there, and maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But I think in the long run, it's quite a nice decision, and if he can adapt to the physical kind of game in the Barclays Premier League, then he will probably be a good player. But what I saw of him by now is that he's physically pretty weak, which will be kind of a huge problem for him in the BPL. So next question is thoughts about critics on Mario Gomez. I don't know if you know that, but I agree with those critics. I mean, he's a good striker concerning finishing, and yeah, basically that is everything concerning finishing and maybe positioning, of course, in game as a striker. He is in the right position kind of a lot of times. But otherwise, I don't rate him too highly simply because his technique isn't good at all. I mean, his ball control lets him down quite a lot. His passing isn't solid, and I don't know, I just don't think that he is too good of a football player in general. He's just more of a striker up front who scores goals and isn't otherwise involved in the game at all. Of course, he scores a lot of goals for Bayern Munich, but that's pretty natural if you are the only striker in a 4-2-3-1 formation and have Robben and Robben and Ribéry on the wings, and then Schweinsteiger and other good players in the midfield who give him the good passes to then just easy finishes for him. So that isn't too big of a deal for him to score a lot of goals there. So I actually want to see Mandzukic play a lot more than Mario Gomez. Gomez is injured now anyways at the moment, so maybe Mandzukic will get a good start in the Bundesliga and then continue playing if he performs pretty well, I guess. So I don't know, to answer one more question, yeah, probably. Next one is, what's your favorite English word to say? That is impossible to answer. I didn't give a thought about that, and I actually don't know about that, so maybe I'll answer the next question as well. Have you ever followed Norwegian football? What do you think about Norwegian players? No, I haven't followed Norwegian league because I simply can't watch it here over in Germany. It's as simple as that. I don't think it's too good of a league, but of course every league is kind of good in itself. Some Norwegian players I like, of course, but I don't rate them too highly, but that's just my opinion on that. So once again, thanks for watching this episode, guys. As always, a like is greatly appreciated if you enjoyed the video. As I said in the beginning of the video, please don't forget to leave more questions down in the comment section below for me to answer in the next couple of episodes. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. Thanks again for watching, and peace.